In today's video, we're going to be discussing an advanced overview of the Osmo Action up against my favorite camera at the moment, the Canon R6. We'll be covering performance, ISO, HDR video, battery life, angle of view, log on both cameras, which is Cine D on the Osmo and Canon CLOG, along with battery life, raw photos, vlog tests, size of the camera, audio, and their prices. Oh, and if you're interested in checking out my advanced overview of the Canon R6, click above, or I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. Okay, firstly, I want to say Osmo has done a really solid job on the Osmo Action. It does exactly what it's intended to do. As an action cam, but it's also actually more capable than one would think. It can shoot 4K 60 and 4K in HDR, which is crazy. It's got image stabilization built in, which is called Rocksteady, which is essentially an electronic stabilization, but it really is good, guys. You'd mistake it for being inbuilt in the sensor. It really is solid. As you can see, I've got two videos side by side comparing the image stabilization during a simple vlog. I'm going to switch to that now and you'll be able to get an idea of the raw audio from both cameras along with their stabilization and use. Enjoy. Alright, so we're beginning our first test. Now the first test is going to be really simple. I'm recording on the Osmo Action and the Canon R6. Now both of them are recording together simultaneously. I've got the Rocksteady on the Osmo, and I have full stabilization from the 16 to 35 and using the in-body stabilization from the camera. Now, as you can see, there is quite a bit of light. I'm currently shooting Cine D on the Osmo, which gives that kind of flat profile look, and then just the standard profile on the R6 for now. Then I will switch on to the CLOG and CLOG3, and I will show you the difference between there. Now, I also want to mention, really importantly, that this is all being recorded with the internal audio from both cameras only, so no external mics are being plugged in for this test, just so you guys can get a fair comparison to see what the audio sounds like. Alright, now let's move on to the Cine D profile next to Canon CLOG3 and how they compare. You'll be able to see right away, with the small color correction, the R6 holds up a lot better in terms of dynamic range. That's a given considering it's a full-frame mirrorless camera against a much smaller, tinier sensor. The Osmo still does well considering. The battery life on the Osmo is actually pretty good. Shooting 4K 60, you can expect about 60 minutes of recording, which isn't too bad. I generally have about 3 batteries on hand, and you can easily buy this off Amazon for quite an affordable price. The image sensitivity on the Osmo is quite weak. Again, this is to be expected. It really does start to fall apart around the 400 ISO mark, especially if it's dimly lit. 800 ISO, it's quite awful, and anything up after it is rendered unusable in my opinion. Again, this is due to the sensor size on the Osmo and GoPros alike. The Canon R6, however, I can comfortably use at around 64 ISO and still get a clean image. However, I should mention this is because of fast expensive lenses, full frame sensor, and some other factors, while the Osmo Action is limited to a fixed wide lens and small sensor. The photos from the Osmo were surprisingly good. I'm going to show you some comparisons now. As you can see, the Osmo shoots RAW and JPEG photos, and the Osmo, if this is something you want to take on your road trips or when you're planning to travel, the Osmo is definitely something I would recommend. I apologize guys for the boring photo comparison. I've been quite limited in terms of where I can go. This is purely just for comparison than anything else, so you can get an idea of what to expect. Now very quickly, I want to mention the size of the Osmo compared to the R6. It's quite a big difference. Just for comparison, the Osmo weighs in at about 124 grams, while my Canon R6 rig weighs just under 2 kilos. It's quite a big difference. Now lastly, I want to talk to you guys about prices. I picked up the Osmo Action for $322 off Amazon. It was down from $500. Definitely recommend it when buying new products, as they often have discounts and they have been a breeze to order stuff. The Canon R6 on the other hand is about $4,000, which is quite a big difference in price. And may I mention, that's just for the R6 body. That does not include the RF or EF lenses as well. Overall, these are both great cameras, but they're great in their own respective ways. If you're new to the world of filmmaking and photography and plan on vlogging, the Osmo Action is honestly a great choice. The R6 is also an amazing camera that has a whole range of professional options for both video and photography, especially if you're a hybrid shooter. I'll leave you with this though. As well as the Osmo Action camera can actually shoot 10-bit, not 8-bit, so that's something worth noting down as well. My R6 actually shoots 10-bit, so that's pretty awesome, guys. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So which one would you guys go for, the Osmo Action or the R6, or perhaps both? Let me know in the comments, and if you liked it, give it a big old thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Really appreciate it, guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, be safe. Bye for now.